Welcome to another video, you guys. Today I am doing a get ready with me video. In the beginning of the video, I say that I'm going to be using the Lawless palette. I was talking about this one. In my plans, in my mind, I wanted to use the Lawless palette, the glam one, today on my eyes, but I don't know what happened to me halfway through the video. I was like, no, I'm going to use the Dior one. So I ended up using the Dior one for my eyes today. That is what I have on. I'm doing like a mini review on this palette along with a couple of other things in the video. But the main star of the show, and I'm giving you my thoughts about this palette here. This is the Dior 001 Warm Neutrals palette. So I just want to get that out of the way because it is kind of confusing. I say we're going to be using the glam one from Lawless, but then I end up using a totally different palette. So yes, if you enjoy these types of videos, or if you have any other requests for other videos that you wanted to see, please let me know in the comments below, and let's get started. Okay, please ignore my hair. I'm like, it needs to be desperately done. Like, I need to go get my hair done and it's just not looking cute today. But I'm gonna zoom you in so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. I hope it's good. Let's see. Right now I'm testing the Clarins Beauty Flash Balm. It's kind of like a primer. It says it brightens and tightens. I got it as a sample at Nordstrom's. So I've been testing that. I'm almost out of it. So this is what it looks like. So I got a little bit of that. I'm gonna do my skin first today. And this is kind of like my routine, like if I'm doing my makeup that day or if I'm going out, it's sort of like similar. But lately my skin has been so red and like sensitive whenever I touch it or rub it too much. I don't know what that has to do with, but so I've got that on, and then I'm gonna go in with the foundation I've lately been using, which is the Flawless, I'm sorry, I always say Flawless, it's Lawless foundation in the color Sunlight. This is a long wear full coverage foundation. It's called Conceal the Deal. It's like a liquid formula. You have to shake it really good. So I shake it for like a few seconds, and then I will apply it on the back of my hand just because it is, like I said, super liquidy and like a serum formula. This is actually supposedly a little like mattifying, so it should be good for more oily skin, but I will say it runs really light. So just like get a shade darker than you think you are because it runs really light. They have, I don't know, the majority of their shades are so light. I had such a hard time picking out my shade. This one, like I said, is Sunlight, and I do really like the coverage of this because it is, I would say, medium coverage, and that's what I prefer on myself. Sometimes full, it truly depends, but if I had to pick, I would say medium for most days. And I do notice my skin staying more matte whenever I use this foundation. So I would say it's really good for more oily prone skin. Normal to oily to combo. I don't know how this would perform on dry skin. If any of you have used it and have dry skin, let me know. I'd be curious to know. But also lately I have been obsessed with Lawless in general. Today I'm going to be using their eyeshadow palette as well. I'm going to use the glam one. It's the one that she launched for New Year's, I think, for the holidays. I think it was a limited edition one, so I'll be using that today, I think. So you can see that, so my skin is a little bit dry in this area today, so you can see it's kind of like clinging onto those dry patches. That's why I'm really not sure how it's going to perform on somebody with more dry skin. Just because already wherever it has a little bit of dry patches is starting to kind of like cling on to those areas. I seriously cannot wait to go and get my hair done. It's been so long, I feel like, and it's getting like really dark. My hair is naturally like a lighter brown color, but I've been blonde for so long that I'm like not used to seeing myself with the dark hair. Especially I haven't been coloring the underneath, so it looks so much darker. So the foundation is on, and it does claim to be self-setting, so it doesn't have that like dewy finish. As you can see, it's more of like a matte. Which I prefer and like. Right now I'm also going to go in with the concealer. Lately I have been loving and using the Kosas concealer. Mine is in the shade 01 Neutral. I'm going to take a little bit and put that underneath my eyes. I've been getting a lot of like dark circles too lately. It's not something I've ever struggled with before. It's just like lately has been something that I've been noticing about my skin, and just anywhere that I feel like I need a little bit more coverage. Do you see how pink my lips are naturally? I always think it's so crazy. They're so pink naturally. Especially whenever I have foundation on, it's like, what the heck? I'm also going in with the Beauty Blender. I love the Real Techniques one. This Kosas concealer is really good because it's not drying, and I have been loving that. The last thing you want is for your under eyes to be, you know, looking dry, and this concealer is not drying at all. It's actually a pretty, I wouldn't say hydrating, but it's more on the dewier side, which is what I prefer, and I've been loving that. I've been using it for the last like few months. Also, if you know me, you know I never do my face makeup first, so I feel like I have something in my eye. As I was saying, I never do my face makeup first, so I don't know why I'm doing that today, but we're just gonna go with it. So yes, and after I have the foundation on, I just kind of like to go over the entire face with the Beauty Blender to absorb any excess product, to make it blend more nice and even and more like smooth and stuff like that. So I'll just like go over my whole face with the Beauty Blender. I feel like I need more coverage under the eyes, you guys. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't know if I've not been getting enough sleep. I know the Grande Lash, actually when I was using the Grande Lash Growth Serum, it was giving me kind of like really dark under eyes. I noticed that, and then I saw someone talk about the fact that the lash serum actually does, that can happen when you're using it. It's really not good to use those lash serums. If you guys want me to kind of go into depth about that and like why, I can do that. But yeah, it like breaks down the fat around your eyes. It literally like gives you like dark circles and changes your eye color. It's like crazy. I was using that for a while, but then I stopped after I discovered that. So anyways, so I like to cover my lips, honestly. Like, I think it looks crazy when they're this pink and my whole face is like this. I'm gonna set my face now. I'm gonna use the holiday, do you guys remember these holiday brushes from Sephora this past year? I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury powder, which I'm almost out of. It's in the shade number 1 Fair. I have like almost none left in there, so I'm just gonna be using that up. It's a really awesome powder, but it's so pricey that like, I don't know how I feel about paying that much for some of the Charlotte Tilbury products. Some are amazing, don't get me wrong, but I basically set my whole face with this powder. Okay, let's now get some color going on my face. I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty bronzer number 1. It's called In the Sun. I love this so much. I'm going to be going in with this brush here, again from the holiday collection, the slanted one. These are so soft, and the price was amazing for these. So I'm just going to be warming up my face with that. For myself, I really do such like simple and basic makeup, and I actually much prefer doing makeup for others rather than myself, which is I guess a good thing since it's my job. And then same thing on this. With the bronzer, I like to bring back some color to my face. I've been telling myself that once I use up a product, so like this for example, I'm already almost at the bottom, I can only then purchase a new bronzer. So I'm trying to like really use up all the things I have, because I just can't, I don't have any more space for makeup, honestly. Not that I have a huge collection, but like I have been spending way too much money lately, I feel like. So I'm like, I need to finish some makeup products to justify my next purchase, you know? Next, I'm going to contour a little bit. I'm going to be using the DIOR contour palette. I'm going to go in with this shade here. I actually kind of mix like all 3 of these. I don't know, concentrating on that one, but I like this brush a lot too. It's from, again, the Sephora collection, the holiday one. And I just deepen up that part where the bronzer was, and then my nose again with whatever was left over. For blush, I'm going to be using the blush I've been using again for the last few months. Like I said, what I actually did is I took a makeup bag and I put all the products that I want to be using in the next like couple months that I want to kind of use up. So I've been reaching for these like non-stop. So this is the blush from MAC. It's called Mocha. I'm going to go in with that using the Sephora brush. I'm sorry, this is Morphe E4. I'm going to go in with this blush and kind of bringing it up. I have a really round and chubby face, I feel like, so I like to kind of bring this up a little bit. And my other cheek, I'm going up. I like to kind of bring it up and then into my sort of like crease area. Okay, now it's time for the eyes. I'm going to keep it super simple still, but I'm going to zoom you in more so you can kind of see more of what the eyes are going to look like. I'm going to be using the Dior palette. Let me actually do my brows first. I don't like to fill in my eyebrows on a daily basis, so what I do is I use the Control Freak by NYX, and honestly this is not even that good of a brow gel. I don't recommend. It's just what I have on hand and what I'm trying to use up. So I'm just going to kind of brush up my brow hairs, and I'm gonna leave it as that. That's literally what I've been doing. I'm so sorry you guys, the lighting keeps going back and forth. It's kind of like what I like to do. I probably should like ideally fill in my brows a little bit more in some areas, but you know, I just haven't been. I'm just gonna leave them as that. I'm gonna be using the Dior palette. It's 001 Warm Neutral. That's what the back looks like. And then the shadows inside. And it does come with a primer, so I've been using this for a little while now. So this is the primer here. It's like more of like a cream base you want to put on before anything, so that's what we're gonna start with. I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna put that on my eyelid area. It is creamy, but I'm noticing that when I put it on, it kind of turns into like a powder finish. More of like a, it's not as sticky is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to put that on all over. So now that we've got that done, I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and I'm going to pick up this corner shade here. It's like a skin tone light shade, and I'm going to put that in my brow bone area. And as well as my whole eyelid. Kind of set that base a little bit. It doesn't have a lot of fallout. Like even when I pick it up from here, it really doesn't have a lot of fallout at all, which is nice. Not that fallout, you know, is really bad, but that's the first thing I'm noticing, is that it's not really like crumbly. Then I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and I think I'm going to go in with this warm shade here. It's matte and I think it's called Ochre. Yes. I'm going to pick that up in a fluffy brush, a little bit here. Tap it off. A little bit of excess comes off, and I'm just going to place this in my crease area, bringing it outward. Whatever's left on this brush, I'm going to bring over to the other eye. I'm bringing it up pretty high, as you can tell. I can't decide if I want to do an all matte look today or add a little bit of shimmer, because I just want to show you guys how the shimmers perform in this palette, because I think they're so bad. There's like really bad color payoff in the shimmers, and it's just frustrating because I was so excited to pick up this palette, and for the price and for it being Dior, I was a little bit disappointed. I just expected it to be a little bit more than what it is. Okay, now that we have that down, I'm going to take a smaller blending brush, something like this, and I'm going to go in with this shade here. It's the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm going to concentrate that here on the outer corner. I'm blending it into the crease and then out as well. I'm going to go back in with the fluffy brush and kind of blend it all out again. And then same thing here, I'm just concentrating it in the outer corner. The color payoff is just okay. It's not anything super pigmented. I think it's good for someone just for every day who's not really into makeup that much, but just wants to have like a functional eyeshadow palette with more toned down colors that, you know, that doesn't want like a lot of color payoff and doesn't want like super pigmented eyeshadows, you know, and be afraid to put too much, because as you can see, the color payoff is not where I kind of expected it to be. Okay, I finished blending this out. I'm gonna, I think, keep it matte, but I am going to go over the lid area with this light color again. I'm gonna take a little bit and I'm just gonna go over the inner portion of the eye with this. I just want to keep the lid area matte, but I don't know, I'm just having the hardest time with these eyeshadows, and that's how I felt each time I've used this, because I've used this before. You can see there's you can even see there's some patchiness right here, which is like really frustrating, but it's like, it makes me like so mad because it's not like a flawless blend, and I hate that. I hate how it looks. Like, this is literally like a patch here. Like, what the heck is that? Like, that literally looks terrible. I can't. I'm just gonna go in with this clean brush again, the bigger one, and just blend out the corners a little bit more. But you guys, are you ready? I'm just gonna swatch these for you. So there's a few shimmers in here. There's basically, yeah, I guess there's like this whole row of shimmers as well as this one. I'm just gonna swatch these for you. I'm gonna swatch this one. How do you like that shimmer, guys? I don't know. So I've swatched the 3 shimmers from this palette, and do you see what I mean? They're barely shiny at all. I'm gonna try and swatch them in the back of my hand. I feel like it is not acceptable for a Dior palette to look like this. I just expected a little bit more, that's all, honestly. Like, even if I take this shimmery one here and I put the shimmery one on my lid, like, you can't even, you barely notice a difference, because that's how light it is. I just needed you guys to see that, because if you're looking for a shimmer and expect this color palette to be shimmery at all, it's not. It's more so of like a satin finish, with barely any shine, honestly. I mean, as you can see, I applied it with my finger too, which is usually more color payoff. For my lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with this darker shade here and then this one here. I'm gonna actually mix the two back and forth, and I'm gonna put it on my lower lash line, concentrating the darkness just on the outer corner. Okay, now I'm debating if I should put a liner or not, but I don't think I'm going to today. I'm just gonna do mascara. My go-to mascara as of lately has been the Jane Iredale. It's the Beyond Lash Mascara, a volumizing one, just in black. I love this mascara so much. It doesn't clump your lashes. It gives you so much volume and length too, and I have pretty short, really short and thin lashes, so you're gonna see the difference it makes in my lashes. And usually I don't like brushes that look like this. I prefer the more plastic ones, but I have been obsessed with this mascara. Okay, I'm done applying it on my top lashes, and like I said, my lashes are short. They're short and they're thin. I used to get lash extensions for the longest time ever. Nothing wrong with that, but I just pulled out my lash extensions. But look at the difference. Like, this is crazy. I can't believe that these are my lashes, and it's literally the mascara is, it's just, I just want you to know how short my lashes are and what this mascara does to them. So if your lashes are healthy and long, then imagine on your eyelashes. So I just finished applying the mascara on my eyelashes, and you can see what they look like. This one is a little bit more clumpy, and this mascara, I've had it for so long now, I need to order another one. And this is actually over here is where I was missing some lashes. I literally had like a bald spot because I was plucking them out like crazy. But you can see what an amazing difference this mascara makes. I think it's so good. I just want to zoom you in a little bit more so you can see. And I'm like so proud of my little lashes for growing. I'm now also going to go in with highlight. I'm using the Soft and Gentle by MAC. I use the same brush as what I use for my blush. Just the back of it. And then I'm going to apply some on my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose. Oh oldie but a goodie. I love this highlighter. And what I like to do is just take my pinky, also go in here, and then kind of like go into my inner corner like this. I love doing that because I think it adds like a nice glow. Okay guys, for my lips I'm going to be keeping it pretty simple today. I'm going in with Subculture by MAC. It's just like a nude lip liner. And I don't like to have a defined line, so once I line my lip, I'll take my finger and I'll kind of run through the corners, the edges. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. And that's literally all I do with the lip liner. I like to just kind of have that like really not defined lips. And for gloss I'm going to do the DIOR Lip Maximizer in 001. It's like the baby pink one. This smells so good. I'm going to zoom you in to show you the final look. This is what it looks like. Super simple, super easy, super quick. Of course, you know, I was recording this, so it took me some time. That is it, you guys. This is what I do almost on a daily basis if I'm wearing makeup that day. I'll switch out my palettes, you know, every now and then I'll go in between the Dior one, the Lawless one. Sometimes I, you know, use the Huda Beauty ones. I just try to use whatever I have for palettes. But the majority of the time, you know, I have like one for like a couple of weeks or something like that, and then I'll like switch it out. So yes, if you want my opinion on this palette from Dior, I honestly don't think it's worth the money. I would not repurchase it again, and I would not recommend buying this only because of the color payoff and how they blend and everything. The shimmers or the satin finish colors are not even that. I feel like they do nothing. I don't think they blend very well at all, and I just don't think it's worth the money. I feel like there are some amazing drugstore palettes that you can get for a lot cheaper and don't have to splurge and get something as expensive as this, especially when it doesn't perform very good. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. If you have any requests at all for any other videos that you would like to see, you can let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video.